I'm quite humbled that this happened in my generation. Fallout 4. I'm sure that, like many of you, my anus has never been tighter during the final seconds of that countdown, and my sense of loss never greater that when it hit 0 nothing happened. But it's here, and after cleaning my boxers I can finally give to you all my 2 cents on this trailer. So if you haven't watched it yet, go do that and then come back here. So first thing is first, setting. So from the trailer, it's the final confirmation that we need that it takes place in Boston. The initial suburb isn't much to go on, but it's all the scenes after this that tell us what we need to know. Firstly is this Final Fantasy-esque ship, which I really hope is an airship. I believe this is the Uss Constitution, a ship that resides in Boston Harbor, or at least it does right now. It was named by George Washington and was quite famous in the war against the UK. Now I can't tell whether the turbines were added before or after the bombs fell, but time will surely tell. The second scene to give us proof is this one right here, clearly showing the statue of Paul Revere that is in Boston. The giant dome building is most likely the Massachusetts State House. Based on the built-up areas, we are most likely going to be seeing more civilized areas contrasted with the wasteland regions that surround it. I expect the town shown will be similar to Megaton in that it will be one of the large areas that can serve as a hub for you. I think it's interesting that our vault is the only vertical exit vault that we've seen so far. It also appears that it may have been one of the few residential ones, as it was situated just outside the suburban area we see at the start, though it appears most people did not make it in, so perhaps we'll be inhabiting a much more empty vault this time. Now since it's in Boston, we will almost certainly be dealing with the Institute, the organisation that was alluded to at multiple points in Fallout 3, and maybe once in Randall Clark's diaries in Fallout New Vegas. The Brotherhood of Steel, or at least an organisation that I assume is them, is seen multiple times throughout the trailer, so perhaps this will be another area that, like DC, is either under their protection, or, depending on their agenda, under their control. Since the Institute is a technological one, perhaps they and the Brotherhood will be at war. Now I want to talk about the tech. Now whether it's due to this being set up in a city or the influence of the Institute, the level of development of the area seems to be greater than that of any previous game. Housing and markets seem to be far more ordered than before, and the oil source seems to have been obtained, as vertibirds can be seen at multiple points, and in previous games they were a scarce commodity, bar the Enclave who did have an oil rig at their disposal. A giant airship can be seen behind the Paul Revere statue. Now it seemed to be more blimp-like than the airship we seen earlier, the USS Constitution, more reminiscent of those found in Bioshock Infinite, which in my opinion isn't a bad game to draw inspiration from. All this leads me to believe that this may be set further in the future than the other games that we've seen before, though how far remains to be seen. At the end we see this power armour that it looks like something Tony Stark made in a desert. And to be honest, I like how it's bulkier than anything we've seen before. It looks like it will have real weight behind it. Behind the armour we can find a rack of what looks like weapon mods for a laser rifle. So hopefully modding will be a more usual staple in this game now, or at least of a higher calibre than we've had before, such that scavenging parts, assembling them into weapons, and the actual appearance of the weapon might change based on the mod applied. Now onto the engine and graphics. Colour. We actually have colour. The tinges appear to be gone. Even from the first scene you can tell that there's more colour to be featured this time, which unless you use mods is going to be a first for many of you. Textures look better this time as well, and to me it does not look like Skyrim, so I think we can assume this is either a vast update or a new engine. Skyrim took place in the Creation engine and New Vegas in the Gamebryo, so I hope that we will be seeing a brand new engine, as it has been 4 years since the previous engine made was used. And let's all be honest, we need something with a little more heft now. The dog moves great, and that movement is replicated in some of the other creatures that we see, which I will come to in a minute. The lighting is immediately much better than what we have seen before, as shown coming out of the vault, or on the streets, or inside the supermarket. Now, what I assume are ghouls. The way they move look terrific, and the way objects interact with them makes me hope that the shit physics of the previous games are gone. I can now stack things. Yes! The environment looks far more varied than any that we've seen before, with urban areas, grassy regions, a bombed out wasteland looking area, and perhaps the most interesting, sand dunes. which to me means water, so hopefully we'll see the ocean making a larger appearance this time than in previous games. The weather effects with rain, thunder and clear skies mean we will hopefully see a more interesting weather system this time, as in not either sunny or pissing rain, so a more varied environment which gives us the opportunity to see a wet, drizzled wasteland instead of dust, similar to what would have been found in the Stalker franchise. Now the best part, the creatures. Brahmins are back and they finally have realistic arse movement. Look at that fucking ass. Now whether they're going to be the only form of transportation for goods remains to be seen. Perhaps we'll see more of a technological transportation method this time round. Next we have what looks like super mutants, most likely a camp, given the cage we can find in the upper right by the tree, which looks like it has a corpse in it. This isn't really a creature, but this sad sod here. Now either the tint from the other games was worse or these are a different model, but protectrons are finally back, with their sniper-like laser bursts that can cleave off eyebrows at 100 meters. No clue what this thing is, most likely a new form of crustacean creature, walking about in 6 pegs now. Maybe a lobster. Deathclaws look fucking amazing. They seem bulkier too, more lifelike I suppose, solid. That or they got an upgrade, which terrifies me to be honest. The ghouls, as I stated before, look fucking incredible. Like, they look like actual zombies now instead of marathon runners who got rigor mortis in the upper half. So some proper animation looks like it's going to be a real possibility. Well done Bethesda. Lastly, we have voice. Not too sure on that one to be honest. I always liked the fact that we either mind or telepathically communicated our messages to people, being the marauding mute bastard that we were. Getting things done, as it were. Now that we have a voice, it seems like it could be weird, especially if there's only one. If we have a range to choose from, that would be great. But if it's a case of you make a freak and your dad is a lanky black man with Liam Neeson's voice, it's gonna be a little bit odd to be honest. As for a release date, well, pre-orders are already up and people are hyped. I assume they want to build on that hype as soon as possible, so I would say winter 2015, giving them several months to polish anything that needs fixing, as we can assume, based on the trailer, that the guts of the game is done and now they're going to be moving on to optimization and tidying up loose ends. And hopefully bugs, because Christ knows New Vegas was a mess when it was released, even though that was Obsidian. Well, that's everything that popped out to me for this trailer. This was a bit rushed, but I wanted to get this out as quick as possible because we have just hit 30,000 subs and you guys have been begging me to do something on Fallout 4 for a while now, so here it is. I can't believe this game is actually coming out and I will definitely be making videos on it, I can 100% assure you. If you think I missed anything, leave it in the comments below and we can discuss it. I wouldn't mind getting a good discussion going here, theories, things that you've picked out, things that you've seen that you liked, things that you've seen that make you question it, such as that Nuka-Cola bottles are a different shape now, stuff like that. Any suggestions for future content, leave them there as well, and I will see you in the next episode, which, who knows, maybe it'll be on some gameplay from E3. And, goodbye.
Let's go, pal.